Sitting is the new smoking, did you know? And stretching is a terrible idea if you have joint pain. You stretch every day, but the pain is always coming back. Here's why you might actually be making it worse. Imagine that your garage door is broken and you and your mom are in there, but you need to get out. So you lift up the garage door with your own hands, and your mom goes through underneath the door. But at the moment that she's right under, the door starts to work and it starts to come down. So you're holding it with all of your strength. Otherwise, your mom is going to just get split in half. So you're going to hold it with all of your strength. Your mom is going to be able to go and everything will be fine. But the next day, you will be so wasted. Everything with her will be like, oh my God, like I would never do that again. And this is exactly what happens in your body. You are the muscle and your mom is the joint. Muscles are the responsibles to keep the joints in place, and that is what gives our body the shape that we have. Muscle's job is to save the joint no matter what and stabilize it and not letting it collapse. So when the muscle is not being able to do its job, he freaks out completely and do whatever he can to keep that joint away from collapsing. Muscles try so hard to do their job that they might end up in a chronically state of contraction. Of course that we're going to feel great when we stretch. That muscle is super short and stiff. So when we stretch it and we make him come back into the length that he is supposed to be, it's going to feel good. You will be fixing the stiffness for a while, but that muscle got stiff because he couldn't handle the stress that he was going through. And it's not that you were running a 4K or you were doing something crazy, right? You were probably just going down the stairs or you were picking something up or even doing your favorite sport that you've been doing for so long and nothing bad ever happened until now. So what changed now? Why my muscles are not being able to do the work that they were before? As I said, sitting is the new smoking. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but we all been smoking since kindergarten, and it's not cute. A rock can be shaped by water. It's just a matter of time. And the change will happen so slowly that the rock cannot even realize. And that is exactly what is happening to our brain muscle connections as we do any activity very often. In this case, sitting. So your brain learns that some muscles are not that needed anymore. For example, when we sit, we don't really use our glutes. And what we don't need, we don't use, and what we don't use, we lose it, aka it gets weak. And that is where the domino pile starts to fall and takes everything with it. Because even though we have doctors specialized in hip, knee, shoulder, you name it, the body works as a whole. And this is not woo-woo stuff. Doctors know this, it's in their textbooks. But usually doctors will be useful if you are already very, very messed up, enough to get surgery. So watch out because surgeon's gonna search. By the way, I had 3 different doctors recommended me to have hip surgery. But guess who fixed me? The physiotherapist and strengthening at the gym. So watch that out because there is no coming back from a surgery. You can undo it, you can press Ctrl Z on that. So now you know that weakness is what makes muscles stiff because they're not being able to do their job of stabilizing your joints. And the thing is, as they get stiffer, they get weaker because stiffness leads to weakness and weakness leads to stiffness. It's definitely a vicious cycle, and that is why you might be stuck in the same problem for years, like I had. As I am sure you already figured out, the fix to these muscle imbalances is to strengthen what is weak. But how do you know what is weak and what is not? Ideally, you would go to a professional to help you out with this. But if that is not possible, or if you are already seeing a therapist but you don't see much progress, leave a comment and I will share with you some sources where you can get information about muscle imbalances and how to help yourself overcome this. In my case, I spent around 9 years with several muscle imbalances, and what is just as bad is that I couldn't realize, but I was so weak. I was strength blind. I couldn't see how weak I was. And believe me, passive stretching won't help, and it's more likely to make your muscles even more unstable. If you can take one thing out of this video, I hope it will be that if you've been stuck stretching and still hurting, try building strength instead. Believe me, that is where real freedom starts. I hope this video was helpful. Please leave a comment, ask me anything, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible.